Hello everyone, I'm Greyshot17 and today I'm going over CoH3. Pretty much everything that has been updated since June. I think that's the last time I did an update, so it's time to go over, what they've updated, how CoH3 has responded, etc. Because a number of things have changed and I do want to actually discuss it. This is something I've been holding off, but I do need to address it, so let's get into everything. In early June, you had Brass Leopard release. This added a number of things from new player names, UI, team colors, gameplay changes like airstrikes being altered to be better and not as jumbled. A CoH3 multiplayer map was added, but the problem was it was meant for more comp stomp players than the actual community. There was issues with the patch that caused it to have to be hotfixed a number of times. While there was some positive stuff like the audio being improved and the UI, general UI changes and also player names and all that stuff, like that stuff was positive. The overall fundamental issues were balance and maps. Those two things weren't really changed, and the patch may have made slightly worse with the airstrikes, especially for the American faction, as I've been informed as such when I covered it in my replays and such. So again, it didn't overall change the narrative of CoH3 from, hey, this game did not release well and has not been corrected with any of the patches in a major way, right? And again, it's something that I hoped would eventually be fixed shortly after launch, and I think that was my greatest hope. But the longer it goes on, the more, as we're in July now, that has not been the case. There is Emerald Bear coming out, and I'll get to that. But with it coming out, and as well as during that time of Brass Leopard, I had the 4v4 Community Map Maker Challenge. I made a video on that, who won it, and I tried to showcase a number of the maps in multiplayer on my channel. But that being said, Relic did come out to address a number of core things, and again, they're still dedicated to supporting CoH3. Fantastic. I still think the game can be fantastic if supported and everything fixed where it needed to be, because obviously things were not up to date when they launched it, and there were some things they knew it would take months and months and months to add, such as replays. Myself, AE, Zany Zap, among others, currently cover games with a mod or a variation of mods to actually showcase any replay. I use a launcher to launch my section, as I know Zany from discussions with him, he had to alter certain files to get exactly how he wanted. There's other things like, I believe, the Q mod that you can use, but you need to play games in it, unless I am mistaken. But every time I try to use it, that has not worked out, so I have to use a variation of another mod set to actually play games. It can just be frustrating, the fact that a tool to use to promote your game is currently not in the game, and you can't use it. And it's not just for 4v4 games that I cover, it's also for 1v1 stuff that the competitive guys really need for the commentators to cover their matches, and also their tournaments like AE's Master League. It's just some general stuff, right, that needs to be altered and fixed. And from what was stated, that fix won't come out until fall. So that was the last shot to be like, okay, cool. Until a patch releases, I'm just going to slowly lower the amount of content I have on CoH3, which, again, I tried been focusing on more stuff. My eye kind of also delayed it. my eye currently going through absolute hell for about a week and a half. That didn't help. That's why I still have glasses on, is because I can't put a contacts in. I'm putting eye drops and other medicine into my eye to fix it. So that's been fun. But I've been slowly trying to diversify my palette once again. Really, I just lost a lot of motivation to make videos. I know a lot of people enjoy my content, stuff like that. And if you do, thank you again for your support. But it's just one of those things where it's like, man, I really hope for CoH3 to launch in a way higher, better state, and it fell short of my expectations. And the longer I play the game, especially with the lack of maps, that's why I did the 4v4 map maker contest, the more I realized, okay, yeah, this has been more of a disappointment like Halo Infinite. Though, again, Halo Infinite with Forge and stuff, it's definitely, turned around. But the other thing they brought up was community maps and how there were legal issues with bringing the maps into auto match, and also they were worried about map makers getting negative feedback. Here's my statement on that. I think that's a lot of either you're really trying to protect map makers. After I talked to 8 different map makers, or people who run tournaments with modded maps, or sorry, altered maps, other things like that, and they never brought up a situation where map makers were directly targeted or harassed or anything like that from, currently CoH3 and CoH2, etc. There has been a very toxic group that has targeted people who like CoH3 or who've liked CoH2 or other things like that at certain periods. That has been apparent, but specifically with maps. And to be fair, you can dislike CoH3, that's fine. Just you don't need to bring everyone else down in terms of that stuff. But in terms of direct threats against map makers, that has not been the case. And I've tried to ask a variety of people, again, ranging from new people to like experts like Stern Panther, and no one could bring up a specific example of that happening. I'm not sure what's going on there. I hope whatever it is that they're trying to fix, whether legally or whatever, they can get that done. Honestly, I would genuinely just like pay the map makers, submit it to the Relic team, have them fix it. There you go. I feel like just, having that would be fine. And again, games like Halo have put in maps into the community, so from the community into the main game. So I don't know. But what I will say is the fact that at least community maps won't be in auto matching anytime soon. So that wasn't, I expected that, but still not great feedback. You always want to hope for like something different. And I always try to be the optimist, but when that doesn't happen, it definitely starts taking a toll on me. Now, that being said, some people are like, well, the player numbers are under 1,500. It didn't sell very well. And we can't get games. One, yes, you can get games. Two, the other thing is CoH3, from all accounts, did sell well. It's just, again, people played it, realized the lack of maps and balance wasn't there, so they haven't been staying around. That's pretty much everything. And again, I'll try to include links to show, like, hey, CoH3 sold over 500,000 copies, which for the mid-budget or lower-budget game this is, generally speaking, that did better. Now, hopefully, and I keep saying that, being like, we'll see, Emerald Bear changes that narrative in terms of CoH3, in terms of having, because they just did a preview, and I'll try to do a highlighted version, but they did release a bunch of stuff. Pathfinding and movement for units have apparently been fixed. Off-map artillery, airstrikes, all that stuff apparently being altered, tweaked, and general balance changes to make things maybe not a hard nerf, but just an overall light pass over units to just make things more fine-tuned, which I feel like is something that appeases the 1v1 guys and also the 4v4 guys for a lot of different aspects, from the zeroing artillery being super powerful and needing clear indicators to airstrikes for the allies. All sorts of stuff is being done, and also artillery strikes that just aren't really that useful, to actually making them more prominent and actually making them more cost effective, or not, maybe more bang for your buck is probably the best term. Again, new 3v3 and 4v4 map. 3v3 is the Tobruk map. They just updated it, and there's also a new 4v4. Great. Again, as long as there's something new, I'll take it. They're also updating info such as player stats, after action reports, and there's a number of other things I'm not getting to, but it seems like Emerald Bear is the largest update they've done so far. And again, they're going to, in my opinion, need updates in similar scale and scope to this coming out to really get the game where it needs to be sooner rather than later. Because again, right now the Steam reviews are currently averaging, I think, 50, all things considered, and it shouldn't be, your game should not be at that state, right? Now, again, I don't think it sold poorly. The Steam sale kind of indicates that why would you give a 10% discount if a game sold terribly? You want to then deep discount it. Like, example in my brain would be Colossal Protocol, right? You have a deep discount to try and make whatever money you can, even though the game was not well received. But judging by the 10% and all the info I found, it sold well. So financially, they made money. Hopefully, with that money, they can put it into support to continually bring in new players and reward players who have been sticking around for the past few months and into the next year with new content, with reasons to actually promote the game, because as a content creator that kind of focused on Company Bros 2 and now CoH3 and kind of doing a mix, I want to speak highly of games. I hate talking about disappointment or negative stuff. So I really hope that this upcoming patch does what they intended to do and helps to revitalize it, at least temporarily, until new additional maps and stuff can be done. Because there's a lot of factions, there's a lot of good units, a lot of good stuff there. They just need to fine tweak it, which hopefully the balance changes do, and add new maps for people to play and use those factions. But only time will tell, and hopefully time is more positive to the community than negative. And that's what I always try to do. I kept myself from making this video because I overall try not to be a negative person, but there's a time and place that eventually you have to pretty much go over it. And once my eye was fixed, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and actually go over the recent stuff over the past month and a half. I'll give a more further update step by step next week on when Emerald Bear releases. But until then, I at least want to go over a lot of the positive stuff and negative stuff that popped up in CoH3 the last month and a half that I just haven't had time or really updated on, or that I found to be interesting or stuff like that. And again, if you want community 4v4 maps, there's a ton of amazing ones that GP Pirate still has, I believe, that workshop info, so you guys can all play it. But thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. This has been Greyshot17. Hopefully the next time that I make a video on this, I can wear contacts again. We shall see. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and before y'all go, let me give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Joey G240, Milam, Big Cooch, Aphyria, Ace, Pyro Shark, Tony B95, Epic Pleb. Thank you all for your incredible support and helping me grow my channel and support my channel and everything I do. Thank you, and to the rest of you, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.